Peace, family, peace. We are now live. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Getting ready to have one of them classic shows with the red and the blue. Before I bring these brothers on, family, make sure you hit that like button. Let's get to a few commercials. Get comfortable. Tell your friends and family. Black Magic is now live, and we'll be back in about 1 minute, family. 1 minute. See you in a second.
Hey there! Had a bad dream? I have dreams too. Some parts are scary and some parts are fun. Always remind yourself, it's only a dream and everything will be okay. I had a dream about being in a forest too. Check it out, my pet Petey was with me. Order your copy of Kayla Petey and the Forest on Amazon today.
Hey family, it's King Simon, the founder of Numerovation. Remember, if you want to book a session with me and get a Numerovation consultation, all you have to do is text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. And if you want any of my books, go to linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. That's King Simon the Numerovator. And your books are available on Amazon. Remember, I'm the El Numero Uno, the Numerovator himself. And if you want to book a session, all you have to do is text me. Make sure you get my books on Amazon. I love you. Peace.
All right. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome back to the stage Red and Blue Killer. Welcome back, brothers.
Peace, family. Peace, peace.
All right. Good to
Can't
have
hear you, Blue.
Blue. Can't hear you, Blue. Yeah. Hey, so let's get started. While Blue gets the technology aspects. Oh, let me give a shout out to the brother of Red and Blue. He's having an event this weekend in New York.
Shout out to KT.
Yeah, shout out to KT. The brother's having an event, Beating Diabetes, and that's going to be at the Alkaline Oasis, and that's in Brooklyn, New York. So I put up a post on my YouTube channel, but that's today and tomorrow. The spot is on 958 Halsey Street in Brooklyn, New York. The contact information will be, it's on the YouTube channel. I'll probably leave it in the description. I know Red and Blue got American Gods. I'm gonna have a couple things in the description. But if you are in New York, make sure you check out the brother KT in Brooklyn, New York at the Alkaline Oasis. Shout out to Mr. G. Spot is absolutely phenomenal. I went there. I just got back from New York a couple of days ago, and I went there. So yeah, it was off the hook.
Right. Shout out to Mr. G.
Yeah, definitely. I told you, me and Kambada having the album release party there for Holy Ghost 3.
Beautiful. I gotta be in the building for that. Definitely.
Yes, it's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire. What's up, man? Y'all ain't been on here in a little while. How's everything going with y'all?
All is well. You know what I mean? We just been constantly working. We was on tour. We toured the underworld.
Yeah.
We tapped in with the higher level tour, hit the road. Basically,
hold up, Blue. We still can't hear you, Blue, by the way. So just letting you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, what you were saying, Red?
Yeah, we basically revisited many of the states that we were going to over the years. We was in Chicago, we went to Baltimore, we went to Philadelphia, we hit the stage in Boston, we hit the stage in Houston, we went to Dallas, we went to New Orleans, you know what I mean? A lot of the places, Philly to Baltimore, all of these places that have high crime rates and considered to be murder cities and whatnot. We pulled up and the energy was monumental. You know what I mean? It was monumental. One of the highlights of this calendar year for me.
Excellent. Yeah. Shout out to the brother 19 Keys for doing a wonderful tour. And
yes. I saw Billy out there. Shout out to Billy Carson. I saw KT. KT crushed it in Houston.
Yeah.
Blue crushed it. You know what I mean? We was in Boston. We crushed it together. So it was a good look.
Indeed.
You know what I mean? The culture is healthy. That would be me coming back to tell the community, pay attention to the good things that are taking place.
Right.
Because based off of what I saw, the culture is vibrant, they're hungry, and they're healthy.
What do you think is one of the most important things for the culture to tap into right now? Hollywood is falling. That's the number one weapon of you know what they call it, white inferiority, whatever the name they want.
Yeah, white supremacy, white inferiority. To be honest with you, right now, the way things are moving and whatnot, I would say tap into your creativity because it's your imagination and your creativity at this point in this juncture in time that is going to propel you into a future where you are going to be able to actualize all of that shit that you've been learning, talking, and thinking.
Yeah.
You know, you could easily tap into your creativity or creative faculties and create a brand that lasts the time, that lasts as long as Wu-Tang brand. It could endure as long as hip hop in its 50th reign. You and your conglomerate or your team or your A likes, right, can create a brand, or you could contribute to the culture, or you could even create your own culture that has the possibilities to last 50 years and to accumulate trillions of dollars in revenue as a result. That's the period that we're in right now.
Mm. Blue, you there? Oh, damn, Blue, we still can't hear you, Blue. Blue. I know Blue want to talk his talk too.
Yeah, I know he warming up. Don't worry
44
about it.
God, don't worry, 44
Yeah,
God.
don't worry about it, brother. You
Don't
know what
worry,
I mean?
44 God.
At the all white party and all that.
Let
You
me
know
let
what I'm
me let me
saying?
do some magic. I'm gonna write the number 44 down.
Yeah, we're
Second,
gonna open
second.
up the portal for you.
We open up the portal for you. I could do magic.
I could do magic.
I
There
just
you
opened.
go. Can y'all
There
hear
you go. See, I could do
Yo, bro, what
magic.
the
me?
fuck? Look what I did. Look what I did.
I
Come on, y'all can't
promise
tell me
you.
I ain't mad. Come on, give me my props. When is
Nah,
niggas gonna give me my props?
nah,
You're a
hold on, hold on,
wizard.
That shit,
Father Rich is a
I
hold
wizard.
on.
did that shit in real
Nah,
time.
You a
hold on.
warlock.
I think,
Right after I
hold
did it
on.
with the 3 sec. Come on, y'all
Let
gotta
me
give.
ask you something.
Look what I did.
You feel like you don't get your props? Then
No,
we need
for
to
this, you
discuss
gotta
that.
give me my props for this right
In
here.
I'm
real
giving you
time.
your
You know what I'm talking
overall
about?
props.
Huh?
We are here this evening christening the rise of Godlywood, and
Yeah.
it takes gods in order to have a conversation in order to do that. The only reason I keep company with you is because I know who you are, and we bear witness to your manifestation. We exist within it. You know what I'm saying? So
That's a
yes,
fact.
we are gods, and we do have these abilities, and this is the age that we're living in, when we can manifest in real time. Speak it and so shall it be. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the underlying sentiments about today's program, is about the fact that we can recognize and see that we've been programmed,
Mm-hmm.
because we've been dealing with the first level of AI in this country has been Hollywood.
Mm.
Right.
Oh,
Right?
Blue, hold up. Blue came in on fire.
Right. He
Go ahead,
came in
Blue. I
shooting.
see why you
So,
had. Go ahead, Blue.
so yeah, so
Go ahead, Blue.
we
Came in
we've
on
been
fire.
dealing with you know artificial insemination of ideas and concepts from an artificial construct, right?
Yes.
Since the inception. I watched a movie the other day called Babylon, and Babylon, featuring Brad Pitt. It was the history of Hollywood when it went into the roaring 20s. They was having a swing part. They was have the version of their white parties back then. But this is when Hollywood was no audio. It was just picture. It was just moving picture. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And they were able to build an empire from there. So they show Al Jolson, right? The first dude who did
Jazz
blackface.
singer. Jazz singer.
Yeah. That particular production, it brought about sound and film.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Right.
So when sound comes in,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we saw the demonstration the other day on Instagram with the cymatics video, where they showed you
Oh
the
man, that's
merger of three pictures, right? Sound and light is the underlying current behind creation. If we speak about us being a simulation and the fact that we are mostly hollow, just like a cell is 90% empty, then you can see that concept with the image where they showed the cymatics, right?
yeah.
Right.
Sound and light. So when we go to Hollywood and the Motion Academy, especially when you understand that it's the Motion Academy of Arts and Sciences,
Arts and sciences.
Mm,
right?
Right.
And then if you've been to Wilshire and you've seen the Masonic Lodge, there is the Lodge of Arts and Sciences. The number is 444 in the building. So all of these things, right? Even when they showed the MTV Awards and they had the MTV Awards in the Masonic building and everything,
Mm-hmm.
In the UK.
it's right. It's sound and it's lighting. In 2020, when we and had the situation with the shutdown,
and you started seeing the stars, and they started looking like they're dumpster divers, right? You're like, damn, this dude is dumpster diving for food. How you gonna live in a mansion and look like you mix Scruffy,
Yeah.
right? Because they didn't have the sound and the light,
They
the
removed
artificial
that.
light, and the sound is what makes them appear like they're stars because it's glamour.
They're the first filter. Hollywood
They,
was the
they,
first filter.
they are the AI. They're the
They're the
avatar,
right.
right?
They're
Because
the
think about
avatar.
this: they're being paid,
Ooh.
right, to impersonate someone that they're not, to embody a body that's not a body of their own. And then they get stuck in between those bodies when they be like, "Oh, dude was stuck in character."
Yeah, they couldn't snap out a character like Heath Ledger, who had an overdose because of how deep he went with the Joker, right?
Yeah.
They call it method acting. They embody the actor,
They
right? You
embody
got
that.
you got actors that would go, they will walk the strip and with the prostitutes. You feel me? In order to become the character,
You got to go deep cover,
deep cover, right?
right? You
You
go
get
deep
lost,
cover to a degree where you lose yourself, right?
Mm.
Our
right?
culture celebrates a iconic figure called Tupac Shakur, who is the prototype, the archetype of someone who went deep cover and never, regained their
Their
conscious,
character, and when in Bishop, he went deep cover in Bishop and never came back out of character.
never came out of character.
Was
And
stuck.
took him out of here.
Right.
So, yeah, so we're here speaking about the ending of one phase of AI that is being replaced by another phase of AI, right? In the midst of our AI, which is on the rise, called Almighty Intelligence. So you were speaking about the Tor, and what the Tor is a perfect example of
Testament.
is a group of individuals or a pocket of energy is going against the force of gravity. Shout out to Dr. Phil Valentine, right? And what I mean by the force of gravity is that everything else around us appears to be falling. But
Mm.
yet we bore witness to a 9 or 10 city demonstration where everywhere that we went, we saw the cream that has risen to the top. Because I kid you not, the people who attended those events were the cream de la creme of those cities and those towns. The people who are in the audience here for Black Magic 363 are the creme de la creme of their respective cities and towns,
Facts.
even if they don't know it. You know what I'm saying? Because these conversations are rare and they're not happening everywhere around the world. Or let me be more specific, in this country,
Mhm.
because we have a very myopic view of what the world encompasses. What we doing in this country is not really what's popping outside of these borders. Like, this is not the conversation, the character, and the activity that people carry on. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere we're led to believe that because of Hollywood. We only
Right.
see ourselves and we swear that we're the only things that exist. We're under a spell as well.
Right. We in
Mm.
the dome. We're
We
in
in
the
the
dome.
dome.
Yeah. On some Truman Show, Americans are in the dome.
Mm.
Real talk.
So what do y'all think in terms of, because when 2020 hit, let me take it back a little further. I remember when when people first started becoming popular off YouTube. And YouTube, I remember when YouTube cut the monetization, and for the creators, I think this is like 2017, 2016, something like that. And they was trying to push YouTube TV. They thought that people was going to gravitate toward television on YouTube. And
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
like, yo, nobody wants to watch TV no more. Niggas want to
Right.
watch these podcasters and
Right.
this fresh energy or whatever. So
They yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
That was the first.
No.
That was
Let
the
me finish.
first.
Right.
Yeah.
So fast forward, we see the rise of celebrities that people never thought celebrities would come from the internet the way they do. Just for example, your brother 19 Keys. That dude is big. Millions
Mhm.
of views. He,
Yeah.
he he's competing with Drink Champs. Millions of
Right.
views, you know what I'm saying? Without
Absolutely.
without having to sell his soul. So it's a whole new world out
Without
there
the machine.
without the machine.
Drink Champ has the machine
That's the
and they
machine.
have legacy
Yeah.
because Nori comes with millions of people already and a 15-year start, 20-year start on anybody's conceived quote unquote celebrity. But Keys would be a perfect example because it is worth noting, especially for YouTube creators, and I wanna overemphasize this, and I don't want it to be dichotomous where as if I'm saying something that I'm not saying, right? But he got a 19 Keys page on YouTube, right? And I used to watch the content on that, but it was not necessarily reaching, a wide enough audience. And then when I see him cross collaborate, because his thing that he always spoke about initially, even while we got into business, is he said collaboration over competition. And that sounded like the ethos that Red used to push about Voltron. And I've just always been eager to see how it can actually work and wanting to be a participant in making it happen. You know what I'm saying? So then he came with the shifters. Then we got into business, and then I seen him making a, he did the BWO, and then he did the merger with EYL. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And then then he created an organic audience and an organic reach. You feel me? And he was able to manipulate the algorithm to work in his favor by going against the flow of gravity because as I said, everything else seems to be going down. This is when we're seeing channels implode. We're seeing genres implode on YouTube.
mm,
You know what I mean? And or just do things that are very questionable. And yeah, I seen the fact that if you align yourself and get into the right stream, dealing with the internet because the internet has so many pockets. You feel me?
mm,
And or YouTube in particular as a channel, as a channel, as a window to the world.
mm,
This is the new TV, and people don't want, like you said, they don't want to see programming, right? They want to see organic TV, but they didn't know that in 2017. It
yeah.
wasn't because there wasn't the quote unquote we didn't move into the influencer phase yet, so there wasn't that
Mm,
celebrity status attached to it.
mm,
And I just say celebrity for like let's dismiss the fluff around that word. People who are celebrated for what they do. That's to me the definition of celebrity. People who are celebrated because niggas be hella hating just because of terms,
mm, mm.
right? But we know what it means, right? Shout out to she says she's still using the 7-day Kundalini seminar. That was an amazing one.
Yeah.
For me, for amazing value. Like they got 7 days back to
Seven
back
days.
to
Yeah.
back to back of instruction of demonstration. So YouTube gives us the ability, right? That wasn't not even taken in the lecture halls
Right.
to demonstrate. And I don't even think that accessibility has been overused because there's so many things as a community that we can show the people who are looking and listening how to physically do and demonstrate. Like shout out to you, Rich. You said you bring in the cooking show, right? We
Mm,
need a fitness show.
facts.
I was going to record to say that the first disruption to show me that web centric content had more appeal than mainstream media was when we started going live on YouTube in the streets.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That was a reality show format. It was like guerrilla marketing mixed with reality, mixed with something that we was used to it. We grew up seeing things like that, but traveling the 50 states and then outside of America showed me that New York was different and it was an anomaly because that type of gathering that we were able to do on 125th Street and then in Brooklyn when you were out on Fulton Street, they were not able to replicate that in other places and whatnot. So the impact of black melanated people going on YouTube and seeing some shit take place in cities and whatnot that they never visited to before. They only heard about the rap music. They were introduced to a whole nother approach on building, disseminating information, and also taking what used to go on in like closed rooms, because we used to do the conspiracy theory shit. We used to build and everything, but we wasn't doing it in the open.
Mhm.
We was not doing it in the open. We was doing it behind closed doors, right? We was not we didn't put it in the public. We did not wear it on our sleeves either. So what YouTube brought, and what a movement of young melanated people who had that hip hop swagger to themselves, who was spitting real shit. They was collapsing religions on 125th Street. Dudes with do rags and pants sagging was like regurgitating passages and challenging whole religions. They were pulling
Bro,
down religions.
imagine, you know what I'm saying? Imagine other places in this country where people don't even have the wherewithal to question these institutions based on something that they feel, let alone have receipts, information to go all the way back into the archives of that shit and produce photocopies. Like, nah, this is where the treaty and the lease was at. We got hella receipts. We know the family responsible, and dudes got do rags on with they, you know what I'm saying, sagging and shit. It was a
Right,
total anomaly. You know what I'm saying? And YouTube was the perfect place for it because it was a visual disruption, let
Mhm.
alone the information, the visuals that went along with it. Because remember, we
right.
went through the blog talk phase, and I'm not saying that didn't do what it needed to do, but
When it became
they,
visual though, when they put a
they
face to
never
the
seen us.
voice,
Yeah,
you got
no,
Sinetta. Sinetta got white people kissing his boots. They got the bullhorn. You got crowds of people on 2/5 when
right.
Bobby is out there talking.
Across the street from me.
Like, it was different, and we it's hard to look back on it right now because we got the internet, we got social media, we got smartphones and whatnot. We're talking about a day and time when social media was not even jump started like that. You know what I mean? It didn't even, people didn't even know how to get online.
Mhm.
So it has mushroomed into a place where now we have what is known as the democratized, quote unquote, approach to everything that we can identify as the fantasy industry complex. Everything has been democratized.
Why do you keep calling it the fantasy industry? I'm just curious. Like, if
Break it down.
Right.
yeah.
So the fantasy industry complex, right? Like the military industry complex. The fantasy industry complex is a whole complex where there was groups of people who were controlling our programming of 0 to 7, from
Okay.
7 to 14, from 14 to 21, and they were doing it through fantasy, right?
Okay. Okay.
So we've been programmed and inundated through the fantasy complex industry since the beginning, but
Okay.
we were not the ones in control of it because we
Give us,
don't control the cartoons.
yeah, give us
The,
examples.
all right, so the cartoon industry that
Mm-hmm.
we grew up watching and whatnot that indoctrinated us.
Mhm.
The toy industry, the
Mhm.
toys that were spin-offs of the cartoons that we played with, that is an integral part of our development. The comic book industry, which was very important to introducing us to ideas of the multiverse, ideas of metaphysics,
Quantum.
ideas quantum, the quantum universe and everything. Then we had the video game industry that came in and whatnot, and that was also very instrumental in indoctrinating us into concepts that was foreign to us prior, right? But that also was giving us under the underpinnings of white supremacy. The heroes don't look like us. You feel me? Our heroes is in Grand Theft Auto and shit like that. We still the anti-hero in that world, right? Manga is, I always found it weird that the Japanese with this would uplift the blonde hair, blue-eyed archetype of the Western man rather than who they really look up to. You know what I mean?
But it's the Stockholm syndrome.
It is. It is.
They
Right.
just got stepped on by him,
Right.
and often when people get stepped on in that manner, that's not the people that they rally against. They adopt those cultures. They become those people.
Right, because that's how the Japanese are. If you defeat them, they'll absorb in your culture into theirs and whatnot. But I would love to see manga post hip hop because that they rock with us harder now. But anyway, so we got the comic book industry, we got the cartoon industry, we have the toy industry, we have the video game industry. I don't know if y'all do the. I don't know if we ever shared the behemoth of what the video game industry is on the
Yeah.
show. I don't think people understand how big video game or what they call the gaming industry is. I'm gonna just
And
give y'all a quick.
yeah, go ahead, because it's an integral part of tonight's conversation. So
I'm
please.
gonna give y'all a quick fun facts on the video game industry. Gaming is bigger than music and movies put together.
Put together.
Put together, and this is not a cap. If you want to go on a quick Google search, we could go and do it. Gaming is bigger than music and movies put together, and then you may throw something. You might be able to throw something else in there. It is one of the biggest, fastest growing entertainment sectors ever. It brings in way more money than Hollywood. It is actually accredited for one of the things that killed Hollywood.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Yes. The gaming industry, people's attention. Right. It's all
So
about the attention.
that I
They
was
have
about
the more. Go ahead, Blue.
I was about to veggie back with that when we speak about storylines, when we speak about engagement, because things, right? I told you that commerce, business, everything is about attention and retention, right? Especially media.
Right.
Attention, is it sticky enough to get you there,
Sticky enough.
right? And how sticky is it? How long will you stay there? Because that's based on advertisement dollars.
Right.
I can only gauge what you're worth by your advertisement, and I can only gauge what I'm willing to spend with you via advertisement dollars by how long the screen time is. How long
The
do you
retention rate.
there? Right.
That's
That's what
why.
analytics come.
Right. That's
Hold on. So when we can measure all of those things, and we understand that people literally spend all day on Twitch, on video games and things of that nature, right? Especially for the parents out there that have young children, you can attest to this, right? They are retained by the storylines as well as the gameplay. So if it's good enough for children who grew up on video games to be entertained by Diablo 4 or any of them other games storylines, right? And the characters are already built out in Unreal Engine, you know what I'm saying? And that's good enough for the children. Why the hell would they need Hollywood with real actors?
right.
Wow.
Right.
If they can come with the technology now, and what they said, we want to pay you $200,
Right.
right? That's
Yeah.
monopoly money, right? Hold on, understand what's taking place here. That's monopoly. You collect 200, pass go, right? We want to be all right. Let's break it down for them. The way that you get your SAG card in Hollywood is you have to have two placements, correct? Is it two placements?
I believe it's about 2 placements.
Right.
If you get an acting, if you get a speaking role.
Let's say 2 or 3 placements, and they initially don't have to be speaking roles or minimal speaker roles initially, right? And the way that people enter into Hollywood, the entry point, right? The going in the door to get onto the long journey to the top of the mountain, proverbially and literally, the top of the hill, right? You start as an extra first. So an extra is a background extra, right? Like how they showed in the Matrix when Neo was walking with Morpheus through the Matrix and he was showing them and people was crossing the streets.
NPCs.
Right? NPCs, those is extras. They don't have no speaking roles, right? But they have appearances in the film, even if it was for a few seconds. You get 2 or 3 of those, and then you could go and get your SAG card. SAG card now means that you're in a union, and now you get bumped up to have benefits and things or protection from your gang. You're part of the gang now.
Right.
And now that you're the gang, you're in the building, you can move all around and do, you know what I'm saying, different things of that nature. You also can end up on the casting couch, but that's another story.
Right. In New York, that's highly encouraged for anybody inside of the hip hop industry. Once you get into videos and modeling and everything, they push you to get your SAG card so you could become part of the union, and that's when your life begins. But go ahead, Blue.
So what Hollywood is now proposing to the actors is that they say, we're going to hire you one time. We're going to digitally scan you. We're going to contract with you
Mm-hmm.
And in the contract, right, you're going to give us license over your likeness, your voice, in perpetuity throughout the universe, throughout the multiverse at
About
that,
the multiverse, right?
right? Throughout the
Mm-hmm.
multiverse for $200.
Mm.
We
Yeah,
don't need
360
no more.
deal.
So
Mm.
when I was saying this, because I was saying this before AI kicked, I've been talking about this shit for 2 years. Then I'm like, oh, they got a plan. You know what I'm saying? Transgenderism leads to transhumanism. Check, they don't need people though no more. They got everything that they need from you. I probably been saying the social media and digital shit since 2017 or 2018. I've been explaining to people what's about to take place. I'm like, they don't, you know, people people are lending too much stock into their own existence. They don't care about it. They don't need it for where they got plans on taking things. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be so it's already so unapologetic how they're going about it. But this right here is a setup with Hollywood because they're not going to get back to the table. They're not going to reinstate them. They're not going to meet their demands because this is classic capitalism. You
Mm.
feel me? They have a better way to do things and it
Right,
keeps the cost down. It's all about the bottom line and the shareholders. You know what I'm
right. So
saying?
the
So I had somebody talking about it's about shareholders and stakeholders these days. So this
bottom
shit is a
line.
wrap. You're gonna
So
have to
what?
break yourself like they did.
So
Hold on, and when the music industry came up against the internet, or they came up against the first version of AI, I would say, you know what I'm saying, the cloning of music, Napster, and then they came up against streaming, and they had no idea how to mitigate this new territory, so they had to come up with 360 deals to compensate for the fact that it was now a dying industry, right? They had no idea, y'all. Remember, I was in the industry in '08 and '09 when they hired out Street Knowledge Media as the first online media division in the music industry to deal with Nipsey Hussle's project. So I'm telling you, they have no clue. And then they come with the 360. That's out of desperation to hold on to something because you in a sinking ship. And
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood is in a sinking ship. It is the Titanic, right? After 2017, after Harvey Weinstein gets locked up, after Hurricane Harvey, after the total U.S. eclipse that happened on August 21st, 2017, I believe it was,
mm-hmm,
right? Hurricane Harvey happens in Houston. He dropped a trillion something tons of water uh, on the city in 1 or 2 days. And then a few weeks after that, Harvey Weinstein gets locked up. Now, Harvey Weinstein becomes such an instrumental player because he is the bagman. He's the Democrat bagman. And what that means is that anytime they had to do a Democrat fundraiser for presidential candidates or any other top tier candidacy, Harvey Weinstein was the one throwing the parties, same way to like how Puffy was throwing the white parties. Harvey Weinstein would be that on the larger scale for Democrats. Everybody had to go through Harvey Weinstein. You know what I'm saying? So when Harvey Weinstein goes down, we can look and see that just Hollywood has not been the same. The Hollywood started burning that year. Remember, they had the fires and everything. The
right.
fires started burning. The forest fires came down to LA for the first time. They burnt up the Warner Brothers music. I mean, not the music division, the movie division that
The
had
movie with
the
the masters.
old reels, the masters on the lots. All of that stuff got burnt up. You know what I'm saying? So the history got destroyed. The future was
And,
in
and the music,
compromise.
they did
You know
that
what I'm
with the
saying?
music masters too.
And the music masters got compromised the same way. And it seems that nothing has been the same. So Hollywood is a declining industry, especially post 2020. This was the death of Disney, right? Disney as a company died in 2020. They had a 90% loss because the majority
Hmm.
of their money was coming from
The
uh,
park.
the parks. So then they launched digital streaming at the time. And the digital streaming was the only thing that was keeping them afloat. So that already shifted the model. Hollywood, the big screen model is a dead model. They can't get people back into theaters to begin with for them to make the money to compensate the quote unquote writers or the actors. And yes, somebody put in the post, we do know that the writers are striking with the actors. You know what I'm saying? It's the first time this happened since 1960.
Me
And
and Blue went to a film studio, and we was the only ones on the lot that day. What day was it, Blue? Thursday?
it was the day that the strike took commenced. Yes, it was
You could
Thursday.
have heard a rat piss on cotton. That's how empty everything screeched to it. I'm talking about this is all the way in Atlanta. Nobody is showing up. It is completely shut down. Everything is shut down. This is the
Yeah,
like Blue said, this is the first time that this has ever happened.
and it's a blessing in disguise. And I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying, if people out there are part of that particular union or what have you. This is not personal, but at the same time, for the consumer, I'm going to speak on behalf of the consumer. I'm going to speak on behalf of the parents. I'm going to speak on behalf of the audience members. Um, nobody's speaking to us about what our distrust and our distaste has been with Hollywood as of lately, especially the people who are part of the writing staffs of small film and big film. Why are you guys voluntarily pushing the LGBT agenda in every single TV show?
Mhm.
So I'm offended by that, right? Before you even come back to work or come
Right.
to the table, you should have a pledge or somebody should speak up to say who was behind this agenda, because y'all wasn't thinking about our family when you were pushing that agenda, but now they're telling you that they don't want some a team from the other side, from the studio bosses said, yeah, they'll come back to the table when they start losing their houses and apartments and things of that nature. They're talking about the actors and the writers. So now they're infringing upon these people's livelihood and saying, we don't care. We used y'all up anyway. So while y'all were willfully being used by these corporations to push their agendas against our families, now you
Mm.
want us to sit and protest with y'all because your family's in peril, because the same people who was, utilizing you as agents for their agenda, they done pulled the rug on you and they told you, nah, we just gonna go and get AI to do it.
Let me share something
Mm.
with you, Rich.
That was deep, Blue. Wow, that was some deep shit there.
Yeah. Um,
No honor amongst thieves, huh?
no honor.
Yeah, go ahead, Red. Go ahead, my brother.
No honor. You know, the shakeup and the disruption from AI has reached damn near all industries of creation, from music to
Yeah,
movies. It's smash writing right now. They're complaining on Amazon Kindle,
yeah, yeah,
and they're complaining on everywhere where ebooks are sold that there is a complete flood in the marketplace right now, oversaturation of AI generated books. And
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah.
and the
oh,
teenage, yeah, they
yeah,
said especially in the section of the teenagers, teenager romance, teenager fantasy, it is flooding
Wow.
Amazon. When
Wow.
it comes to the artwork on places like wherever artwork is sold, like on Etsy and other places,
Well,
they're
Fiverr, Fiverr and shit like that. Yeah.
Fiverr built the whole AI division because it was too
yeah,
much, right?
yeah.
So
Damn.
They
now
got with them.
the whole gig worker platform got disrupted because they said, "Yo, there's people that are taking the AI." They said the AI is taking all of the Fiverr work, but AI don't work by itself. So there's individuals such as me and other people who are going ahead and signing up for. If you get a list of all of the jobs that AI is going to take, you just go ahead and get the AI tools and you take those jobs.
Mm.
Because if AI is going to take the job of a script writer, then I'm going to go on Fiverr and say, shit, I write scripts. And
Right.
when somebody comes to me, I'm going to let them know I use AI. You know what I mean? They don't have a problem with that. As long as you could give them the quality product. People are in it for their product. They want their
As
product.
long as you delivering the quality, who
That
cares? And
they
my
door
thing is,
dashing. They like just deliver it.
there was no material coming out of Hollywood that was quality anyway that we were waiting
Right.
for. You
Right.
feel
It
me?
sucked.
It had
It was
access
declining.
to the budgets. Because look, every streaming service want product. So if you if you're a writer, that's like you in the kitchen cooking. You a nigga
Right.
that cook up yay, and you in Harlem in '88, my nigga. Like, there's gonna be no shortage of consumers and customers for the product if you could whip it up as fast as you
If
could
you could
whip it.
whip it up fast.
So
Right.
I
if
was
there's
about
a
to ask.
if there's
Let
a
me-
plethora
Right.
of streaming services begging for content, and you're a
Tubi is buying
content provider,
everything.
right? Where, yeah, but you go to Tubi and you look at the material that's up there, and you like, oh, this is the fucking humans are just getting lazy again, just like
You
they
know,
are music.
I was about to ask, why the hell did Hollywood just stop putting out good product? We remember back in the days of the movies we used to see, whether it's Coming to America, Trading Places, all of these classic movies, it's like they stopped accepting original
Bro,
ideas and they
when's
Right.
the
just
last
started coming out
time
with so and so part two, so and so part three,
No.
so and so
Or
part four,
the
when's the
part
last
five,
time
reboot.
you
part
did
six, part
classic?
seven, part eight.
Bro, look at what they did to 21 Jump Street.
What the
Look at
fuck?
what they did to the Honeymooners, right? Look at these remakes. Look at what they did to that. Look at all of this shit, bro. So the
When's the last
remakes.
time you seen the classic?
When's the last time you seen a classic? You know
I'm asking
what
you.
I would say? The last time I seen a classic was The Matrix.
Damn,
Probably. I'll probably
And
did Avatar come after the Matrix or was that
Avatar
before?
was like, yeah, it was after The
20,
Matrix.
2011. Yeah, 2013 or 2011 was
But my
Avatar.
question is why? Why would you not want to make classic movies that you could make money from 100 years from now? They stop.
One of the main one of the main culprits in this disruption was the CIA. The CIA and the Pentagon set up offices in Hollywood. It was there's an office that you have to go through to get funding for anything. You know, remember when
Right
Transformers
after
and all of those movies and GI
after
Joe?
9/11. Yeah,
Excuse me, Blue.
yeah. After 9/11, after
Yeah,
9/11, I think it was
after
in
9/11,
2003. Hold on, when they was going into Iraq, they formed an office in the Pentagon that, the majority of Hollywood films had to get greenlit through because they considered it a matter of national security, right? And to have the right amount of propaganda going out during wartime. And they also wanted to propagandize the movies with military themes. The same
Mm,
way as I keep reminding people, you will remember in 2003, they propagandized the population with Get Rich or Die Trying, which was a military theme album by an individual born on the same day as George Bush, who called his movement G Unit. He was a ex
shock,
uh, shock patient in
boot
shock in New
camp,
York,
shock boot
military
camp.
boot camp to go to. So he might G Unit. What we in here? What we
It's an
what?
army
You know what I mean?
cadence,
All
right? It's an army
military.
cadence.
It's an all army cadence. That whole album was army cadence. So that terraformed society to be military minded to go. They didn't even question Iraq because they was already thirsting for blood. What up, blood? What up, cuz? Everybody was like this already. You feel me? So they like, yeah, get them niggas, right? And the same thing happened in Hollywood. Like he said, G.I. Joe came, Transformers, all of
And they were all
again,
like
all
recruitment
the
movies. They was all heavy
these were
army
yeah,
recruitment.
they was army recruitment. So we got pre-programmed to go into the army when they were showing it to us as cartoons as children. I know this personally because this was a discrepancy in my household. My father wouldn't allow us to play with GI Joes. Now GI Joes was the hottest. You couldn't come outside if you ain't have GI Joes. Like, who's you gonna play with? Who's gonna play with you? Right. So this started our career in boosting because I couldn't get my GI Joes. Right. And I would say one of them Avengers was classic. I would say the Infinity Gauntlet. I would say those two, Infinity Wars and Civil War. uh Avengers, I go back and watch those. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I go
Right.
back and watch those.
Call of Duty. When did Call of Duty first come out?
What year was that? It's early
I'm
2000s.
gonna Google that.
Yeah, that was early 2000s. Now, Call of Duty, can you pull up the combined estimated take from Call of Duty series? I want to see how many billions of
Okay,
dollars they
Call
made.
of Duty came out in 2003.
2003. I was just about to say that. So
October
once
October
again,
29th, 2003.
so Get Rich or Die Trying came out in 2003. Iraq civil,
Y'all niggas be on point.
the
Y'all niggas
Iraq,
be on
right? We
point.
talking about a 20-year window. We in
Y'all niggas be on
2023,
point.
right?
Okay.
So we talking
Y'all
about
not just talking
how
shit.
many years
All right,
did it
I hear
take to
y'all now.
program?
Yeah.
We in
20.
23. G
The
Unit, 50
generation.
Cent. Who? Right. Curtis
And the
comes out
year
in.
anniversary. And he just relaunched his career this year. Right?
So
Now think about the propaganda that came from the power. Like if he's been a useful agent for them, goddamn,
look,
he served his
Somebody
purpose.
said Call of
Call of
Duty
Duty, right?
has made over 30
So
billion since
right, so
2003.
everybody that's out there, and once again, because I didn't even really bring home the fantasy complex industry point because I didn't even mention Hollywood. I was giving
Right.
you all the
The
stepping
movie,
stones, and then the
the
biggest
movie,
behemoth in that is Hollywood. So not only do we have the opportunity to make AAA video games right now with Unreal Engine and all of the AI tools and everything that's available for probably a budget of $100,000 to about $50,000. Everybody right here, we can make a triple A. What a triple A video game is Call of Duty, Fortnite, all of these titles that take millions and millions of dollars to make. It's become democratized. So we can now tell our story and introduce characters and storylines and narratives that are in alignment with our mind state right now, without asking no help, right?
it's a fact.
So that's kind of that's a fear factor for them because you could now make $30 billion franchises with a game that you created out of your garage and whatnot, or you created out of a creator or a maker space, like a accelerator with a few people. And you could script it out because NVIDIA is allowing the
Yes.
technology to program non-playable characters, and now they could
Yes.
speak to you,
Yes.
right?
The video.
I'm sorry to cut you. What happened with the brother? How's the brother video game doing? The brother, he was down with y'all.
Derek Grace, I believe it's
Yeah.
coming. Yes, he's still showing.
Did it come out
Um,
yet?
nah, but this is just to show you how crazy the game has
Development.
advanced.
Yeah.
Right, it's still in development. So by time Derek Grace drops his game, there's gonna be about 5 other people who are gonna be like, "Yo, my shit is coming out right after that too." So what may have taken him 5 or 6 years to develop it, the way that this thing has upgraded is gonna take somebody 6 months to develop their video game, and it's gonna look just like the shit that he took time to do because we're in this time, we're in this era right now where it's a quickening and technology is upgrading. It's not going by the Moore's law. It's going past the Moore's law.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah. Shout out.
We're talking about AI interrupting these industries right now. AI being a major disruption to Hollywood, the music industry as well. Do you think AI can interrupt the conscious, if you want to call it the conscious industry, the way it has the Hollywood industry? Can AI become like totally change the way consciousness is and just shake shit up the way it is in Hollywood right
Yeah.
now?
Overnight.
Let me share something. Let me share something. I just came from a lecture, a 6-hour lecture.
But who?
Everybody.
Who?
This was a presentation put on by Brother Truth, and he brought some of the top tier speakers in the nation dealing with sovereignty, trust, and law.
Mhm.
And one of the brothers, Brother Hellraiser, he developed a digital AI of himself that he has fed all of his material to, and his AI is super sharp because Hellraiser is a problem to begin with. So he has created an external mind. He's writing a book about it. You know, these brothers be moving. Yeah, Sevar Bowman, shout out to him.
Right. Yeah, he's
Right,
doing
I
big
caught
things.
his AI and God presentation 2 weeks ago, I believe.
Yep.
He's laying it out. He's programming his external brain. So the new field of interest is going to be protecting your digital twin. You know what I'm saying? The new realm is all about digital these digital assets and really
understanding and overstanding even how government is making these moves in these digital realms to capture your digital identity and to
Right.
enslave that as well. Um, Pretty much tantamount to what you're seeing that Hollywood is doing. All of that stuff is built into all of these social media terms and condition and contracts already. It's not
They already
even
own
you're
it.
gonna yeah, you're gonna be fighting companies that are gonna be fighting one another to say that they have ownership of your
Of
likeness.
you, of your likeness,
Yeah,
right? They're gonna
that's
be
how this
being
shit
bigger
about to go.
wrestling for your rights. And I also have to keep it. I have to throw in there before we forget that there is a Black Mirror episode from the new season that just came
Yeah.
out, and it actually happens to be episode 1 with Salma Hayek, and the name of the episode is called "Joan is Awful," right? So Joan is Awful. The storyline behind that is that there's a woman who one day turns on her TV, and basically her whole life is being played by Salma Hayek.
Yes.
And she's in corporate America, so she's basically doing shit that corporate America does. They're kind of heartless in corporate America, so they're firing people and they're double crossing and backdooring people, so they're exposing all of this about her personal life on TV, even to the point where she hooked up with her ex-boyfriend, and then her boyfriend got to see it and he left her. Yeah, Adam 22, right?
Adam
So
22, yeah. All of that was season 5.
yeah, we're gonna get into that real quick. But this they say Black Mirror is sort of like Simpsons when it comes to predictive programming
Mm.
and when it comes to aligning with the agenda and whatnot.
Bro,
Whoever the writer
my
is. Hmm?
my lady will tell you,
Well,
I'm
keep in
living in a
mind,
black.
like, yeah, we was
I'm
bringing
living
up the
in a
fact
black
that the
Mirror episode
CIA.
right now.
Right. We brought up the fact that the CIA is in Hollywood. So it wouldn't be far fetched for them to have assets that are basically pushing agendas, that they drop agendas in certain TV shows and in certain movies and whatnot, because it's all about preparing the people, right? It's all about basically putting it out there to say, nah, we told you this is what we do, right? So Black Mirror is once
It's
again,
been too accurate, right? It's been a
they've
little
been
too
very
accurate just
accurate.
to say that it's no soft landings. Like everything has been pinpoint precision. But like I said, I'm experiencing something where I felt like I'm having a Black Mirror episode. So I could relate. You know what I'm saying? This shit is different. It's like every time we speak about something, every time I go live, I say the most outlandish shit, y'all.
Right.
And tomorrow there's a whole article and a thought piece about it. Baby, am I lying? Huh? They can't hear you. And I'm talking
Right.
about the
But it
wildest
just
shit.
right. It just
So
adds credence to what we witnessed when this show first started, when Rich wrote 44 in the paper and unlocked you, bro. We are realizing that this reality is malleable. Okay?
yeah,
The further
shout out
we
to the kids.
go, what a effing time to be alive, because the further down either the rabbit hole or through whatever time space continuum we're moving in, the further into the shit that we're going, we're realizing that we program and we control our reality. That is what everything is showing you. And the fact that AI or generative AI is so appealing to people is
Yo,
because it's giving you the power to play little God. You're literally creating realities.
y'all want to test something? I want to do a little experiment since we talking about creating realities and
Yeah.
reality being malleable. Just a little experiment. I don't know if you call it a thought experiment, but a little experiment. And this is something that we're gonna have to do more and more in the future. I did this with Rod Hayes one time, so I want to do it with you, gentlemen. Let me get rid of this at the bottom of the screen.
Right.
I do want to make a comment about this military thing, real quick, so I don't want to forget. If y'all can remind me if I do forget, but I'm gonna write a color down right now on this piece of paper. I demonstrated magic earlier, y'all. Rewind the show and you'll see it about that. The 44 with the circle. But I'm gonna write a name of a color down. I'm gonna spend 15 seconds projecting it onto the screen. Let me put my full, and then I want to see what you red say, what red and blue say. Then I want to see what the people on the screen say. So, and this is just an experiment where we have superpowers. Blue gave a shout out. Keebelon. You've seen Blue Pill make predictions. You've seen Red Pill. We've seen Rod Hayes say things. But I'm writing down a color right now, y'all. And I want y'all to tell me what I'm writing in pencil. And I'm going to circle it. And I'm looking at the camera for 10 seconds. And I'm going to tell y'all without using my voice. All right. Red, blue. Any?
I got red and green. I mean, I got yellow and green.
What you got?
I got green.
Okay.
I got
what
green
y'all
immediately.
Somebody said it's reflecting off your glasses. Okay, let me take they get real technical.
They pausing it, they scanning you. Let me
so I'm not saying whether red or blue is right. I'm just gonna say it without my glasses on. All right, so I just want to, just doing a little test real quick.
I'm getting heavy green. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna give it yeah, I'm not saying any answer right now. I'm just give y'all 20 more seconds, then I'm gonna see let y'all know what the answer was. And this is just things like me and my girl do things like this. I'll be like, baby, tell me what I'm thinking without me telling you what I'm thinking. And we need to begin to practice these ancient technologies that's dormant within inside us if we truly want to tap into them. Like,
I'm telling you.
You know what I'm saying? But
all of this, yeah, boy.
Everybody's saying green because they know green I fuck with. I got the emeralds.
Nah, I'm just saying.
I see a lot of green.
I closed my eyes and I picked up that green from you.
I heard, yeah.
I see a lot of green.
I said red at first though.
So I'm gonna reveal the answer. Nobody got it.
Damn.
I wrote gray.
Do magic. I
wrote gray. I wrote gray. So yeah, let's continue to do things like that. We have to do things like that.
Yeah.
Let's program our LLM.
Yeah.
That's how we program our quote unquote. And when we hit it, you know what I mean? There should be a reward.
Yeah.
Because that's how they're programming these machines and whatnot. It's very interesting. These large language models are being programmed the same way that we program our children, what is called reinforced learning. Mm-hmm. I'm teaching my son how to potty train. So reinforced learning is definitely, I'm teaching them colors, I'm teaching them all of that. So I'm seeing how my son is learning, and that's the same way that these large language models, or what they call the AI, is learning and whatnot. It's teaching itself, and it's learning from all of the stuff that's on the internet. It's a large language model. So it's not learning from code anymore. It's learning from language. It's learning from English, right? It's learning from actual context of the English language. That is a breakthrough. So they're teaching it, they're feeding it data sets, and they're teaching it yes, no, yes, no, no. And when it goes yes, it's like Pavlov's dog experiment.
Right.
Reinforcement learning.
Let me show you something. Because
I train them, the pit bulls and them dogs.
Before we got into that, y'all made a comment about the military, and Pat Beverly. He just had he got like millions of viewers on YouTube. He's real big in the YouTube market. He had a show called U.S. Military Crisis, the worst recruiting year since 1973. I don't want to play it and get a strike on my channel, but yeah. So what do y'all think about? With everything that we just talked about as far as the Hollywood since 9/11 in the military, but yeah, here we find ourselves in 2023, and they're saying studies showing they have the worst recruiting year.
Right. Children would rather play Call of Duty. They would rather play Fortnite. They're already getting the experience of the military through the vision. The games are damn near virtual now. They're simulation games. So they have the illest drone operators, and they got some of the illest snipers at like 8 years old. But the Army can't recruit them because people are not going to the Army. I was listening to Black Dot and Malcolm and whatnot, and they was even breaking down that the appeal is not the same. Nobody wants to they don't want the house like that right now. They could get the house off of streaming. They could get the challenger off of playing Call of Duty, off of playing Fortnite. They could get all of that money jugging. You know what I mean? While they academics plays video games and talks about hip hop and gets paid from Twitch, YouTube, Spotify, and another channel all at the same time. And Rumble. And he's literally, he's playing games without even looking at the game, and he's just gossiping all day. Too many ways to make bread. Nobody is falling for that no more. You saw the video where dude was talking about how to hit the ATMs and shit. These little niggas got methods.
Damn.
They ain't falling for that. Yeah,
they're not.
There's no Private Ryan movies of the ages to indoctrinate them like that. They ran out of and then 9/11. Hold on. Afghanistan and Iraq was a flop. So the morale of what they saw when that plane flew out of there last year, who's gonna sign up to the army after that?
Yeah, so the U.S. doesn't have any identifiable enemy that's a boogeyman that compels children to want to risk their lives to eliminate it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Their ops are going to be internal. They're looking at this shit and losing all faith in it. So they like, I'm going to go across the seas and do what? So the new wars of the future will not be physically fought either. They're also going to be wars of AI and cyber-based. So the recruitment issue is one to look at. This is speaking once again, like I said, is going against the fall of gravity. Everything is falling. Their suicide rates are endemic. Like nobody speaks about that. You know what I'm saying? There's 20 plus soldiers committing suicides daily, and a large percentage of women, and they're part of a younger demographic, a desired demographic is losing their lives on the daily. So the military is in crisis. It's not only that it has a recruiting issue, they're losing soldiers at an exponential rate.
And you don't have a strong leader.
The damages from the job is affecting them too. They're dropping like flies because of that.
Right. The leader is not a strong man. The morale is low. Right? Yeah. And people know if they sign up to go against Russia and China, that's kind of like signing your death warrant. Like, I don't think that people are ready for that. So, yeah, they have to incentivize the populace. The only thing, the best thing they got going for them is to deputize the immigrants or the people who they letting come in. If they deputize, they find a way to deputize them, or if they really unveil the fact that they're going to have those humanoid robots from Tesla and other things recruit as a part of their army.
And let's speak, right? I want to speak to the fact because we're talking about Hollywood and we're speaking about a window in the cycle. So 2017 signals the beginning of the fall of Hollywood by way of Harvey Weinstein getting locked up. And the way that you can bring that full circle is a movie that is disrupting Hollywood right now. It's called Sounds of Freedom.
Yo, Blue. See, this is the read your mind shit. That was my next question because somebody had posted that. That's the read your mind shit I was talking about. Us tapping into our technology.
Right.
Yeah, I swear to God, I was thinking about interrupting you. Go ahead, Blue. Go ahead.
I'm trying to, and I've been explaining this to you, that the demonstration of the program, the way that you do your interviews, the way that we've always done these interviews is a demonstration of mind reading and synchronicity. Because we all be part. Damn, Rich, you asked the best questions. Why? Because you're tapping into the morphogenetic field of the people that are coming into the circumference that encompasses the show.
Mm-hmm.
Feel me? So
that's why.
We just pulling it out the air.
Pulling it. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So Sounds of Freedom,
the movie, Sounds of Freedom, please.
An independent project that is controversial on both ends, right? It's critically acclaimed. It beat Indiana Jones in the domestic box office when it released as an independent film. The people who are championing it to truth. The audiences are being sabotaged at the theaters. They're being attacked at the theaters. They disrupted the movie. They said that they had some viral video going around with one of the concession workers saying that they gave them a particular gel to put into the soda of people
Doobie.
who were, yeah, the doobie, like they're trying to disrupt it on any, they're trying to tie confusion and you know what I'm saying, and bad news to it to discourage people from going to see it. Then there's other people that are popping up saying, "Oh no, that's a plant. It's controlled opposition because it's funded by Carlos Sims and the people who are in bed with the Clinton organization because you can't do a movie about child sex trafficking, organ harvesting without speaking about your mans in them, right? Clintons." So they like, again, tying into the Harvey Epstein tie. I mean, the Harvey Weinstein ties into the Epstein. Epstein ties into every corridor in Hollywood. Hence the fact that we're speaking about the decline of Hollywood, and Kevin Spacey's on trial for the umpteenth time. So Kevin Spacey, all of this comes in with the Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein. You know what I'm saying? All of this stuff leading up to Sounds of Freedom, where now they're like, look, these are the people, military in Hollywood, right? Because what I mean, who runs the country? You know what I'm saying? This is a fascist regime. It's a military controlled country, and it's a military multinational corporation that spans the globe.
Right.
Hollywood is one of the main vehicles and mechanisms to cast spells, but it's also a main recruiting station for people who do fall through the ranks. Like I said, if they're literally giving blood in Hollywood as actors to pay rent before they get a SAG card membership. So this is where people go and fall through the ranks and fall through the cracks, and then they end up into San Fernando Valley, which is the porn
San Fernando.
industry. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Then they end up with no jumper seat.
With Adam and then with Cup 22.
Yo,
I warned y'all about him.
what he did now? What Adam did now?
I warned y'all about him.
What he
I
did?
put it. Hold on. I put a video up 6 months ago, maybe. It might have been 6 months to a year ago. And I exposed Adam 22, and I said that he is infatuated with BBCs because he said it out of his own mouth. So one of the reasons why his channel highlights gangbangers, killers, and all of the violence that happens is because he said that it turns him on. He has a fetish to see black men killing each other.
Remember, you put up a clip. He was like, "Why would I want to eat a vagina? It's literally a big hole. It's disgusting." And remember, he was going in on the vagina. He was going in on why you should not eat the box.
Right. So,
I see that. Yeah, no, I see it. I'm like, nigga, do you know you're supposed to be hitting that clitoris up? Like the nigga don't even realize what eating pussy is about.
Right. So it's a snapshot. He's a snapshot of the infatuation that a lot of them have with our culture, the darker side of our culture, because it satisfies a fetish that they have. You know what I mean? It's almost like if we can't be like the black man, then we want to see them die. We want to see them destroy each other. We want to see them suffer.
Criticize him. Yeah, and again, understanding aspects of how white men in particular fetish the destruction of black bodies. They're also into the sexualization of black bodies.
Right.
So
it's
they
called
have
homoeroticism.
Yeah, homoeroticism. They have a real weird
homoeroticism. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what it's called. Okay.
So he's dealing with that. He's vicariously getting off through his woman. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The joy that his woman is receiving. Right.
If you don't know what's going on with him, Brother Rich, he allowed his wiz, his wife, who's a porn star, to engage in a sex scene with a brother. You know what I'm saying? Who
he put his BBC in her bonus hole.
Yeah.
He made her eyes roll back. Dead ass.
Bonus.
He put his BBC in her bonus hole. Right?
Family, this is getting X-rated.
And I want to highlight something, Rich.
This is getting a little X-rated.
This is unprecedented.
Kids go to bed. It's 10:47.
I want to highlight something that's unprecedented real quick. I've never in the years of journalism heard or witnessed so many people the from the sewer or from the septic tanks rise to the surface.
Yeah.
Right. And what I mean by that, and there's no disrespect to anybody, but it's similar to when I was watching the CIA podcast, and they were breaking down how the CIA or how the FBI and them surveil people, right? So they surveil. They know that there's three parts of us, right? They know that it's our public face, but then they know it's our private face, and then there's a secret side of us. So for everybody to talk about they're doing shadow work and whatnot, that's the part of yourself that they're talking about. There's a part of ourselves that nobody knows about. But the private, right? The secret part is one thing, but the private part is our sexual proclivities, what we do behind closed doors, right? People that are not supposed to know your kinks and your fetishes and your positions and all of these other things. But we live now in a society where a flag will tell people how you get down and what you into. I've never so when I say the sewage, y'all, what I mean is what was hidden before.
Talking about like Sukiana and shit.
Right, that was they're the underbelly. They're called the underbelly of society. They're the hidden part. They're the private part of man's psyche. If you're dealing with Sigmund Freud and all of that, Sukiana, Lena the Plug, the nigga who piped her, Mariah Mills with Zion, the basketball player, all of these porn stars. I've never seen a time where that shit was on front page like that. They didn't mention their names in the media. That's the underbelly of society. They're not supposed to be mentioned. These are the people in the closet that you don't bring out. Because when you say their names, that makes people go and search them. That makes people more curious. Who's Lena the Plug? Let me see her work. Oh, let me check out Mariah Mills. We didn't go through shit like that before. There was a week where it was like 8 porn stars' names on Vlad.
Listen, let me say this. I'm gonna play devil's advocate right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
I seen an interview with Sukiano. I think that's her name. I don't want to mispronounce anybody's name, whether I disagree with you or not. And she said something similar to what Cardi B said one time. She said, "Y'all made me big.
Right.
Y'all keep watching me.
Right. So
y'all keep talking about me.
Right.
So hold up. The people the same people complaining about them are making them big. Instead of talking about people they may want to see come up, they're talking about the people they don't like. That's a big problem with our people. Focusing on what we don't want instead of focusing on what we do want.
Well, what people may not realize and what Sukiana realizes is that we're in the attention economy. You see, the shit that she was doing wouldn't be possible when it was another kind of economy. But because she knows that she's in the attention economy, she said, "Don't watch me. I'm disgusting." You understand? The same way that Carisha was like, "I'm a whore," right? But in the attention economy, what is the attention economy? If I could show you my private life, I could become rich. OnlyFans, right? Your public face, right, is your Instagram page. You say, "Hit the link, nigga. I'm bringing you into my private life." And niggas is like, "I'm game for that." Bad Bunny got a private life. I want to see it. Lena the Plug got a private life. I want to see it.
Who's Lena the Plug? Who's that?
That's Adam 22's wife. The white girl that got piped out. Right.
That's
so they're giving you access as a voyeur to their private life. But because we're in the attention economy, now that's a whole new economy. So when Sexy Red says that her booty hole is brown, niggas is like, "I want to see it." It's a formula that record labels like Empire and other people are using to their detriment, but we are in a day and age where the gesture you're able to monetize the gesture. The court gesture could become rich.
We live in a post-Ye world, so shock value, right, is gonna run it up. This shit is about attention. You know what I mean? And if you can get them to tap into what you got going on, hopefully you could sell something or live rent-free in their mind for a period of time. Because we're gonna be talking about Sexy Red as, even if we don't remember her music, she's still gonna be a big story of 23 because of that
She's
shock value.
embossed. Right. She's
She's
embossed
involved
on
in
niggas'
people.
minds.
You know what I'm saying? So her bonus hole is pink and her booty hole is brown.
Right. Right.
And
So
you know what I'm saying? So yeah, these seem to be some real interesting times that we're living in. Especially, you know, like I said, when you gotta compete against that and go against the grain and bring high vibrations, information, positivity, inspiration. You know what I'm saying? This this what you going against that has attention and retention of people in the millions. Yeah, Pound Town, like that's going to be etched into the psyche. And like he said, it
similar to like what?
coincides with this commercialism of porn stars. They're spilling into the mainstream. You feel me? They're becoming the everyday names, household names, and things of this nature.
Right.
Porn is
Because
available on Twitter to such a degree where it's just
whew,
regular.
right. Because the onion peel of the attention economy, the layers of it are being peeled back. It's being peeled back to whereas, people are dying on film. People are killing people on social media. They see cameras and they shoot because they like, yo, I'm catching bodies on camera, right? The shit that we watched in Menace with Old Dog in them, where he was like, don't show nobody the tape. Now it's the opposite. They like, nah, I need everybody to see my
Yeah,
work.
where's the tape? Yeah.
So we're
If you don't got a
spiraling.
tape, it ain't happen. You know what I'm
It ain't
saying?
happen
So
if you don't got a tape. With Papoose and Easy the Block Captain, if they didn't show the tape, it never happened. They can't
never
prove it,
happened.
right?
Right. To
So
sweep it.
we're spiraling into the attention economy. We're going down the rungs of it. So what would bring people's attention in 2020 with WAP? Now in 2023, it has to be a little more vulgar. It has to be a little more, in your
Descriptive,
face
right.
and whatnot.
You gotta go a little
So
further down the
you
hole.
got to
Yeah.
go further down the hole and whatnot.
You
So
already
that's
went down the WAP. Now you gotta go down the bonus hole. Because
right.
I'm like,
So
who created that word? Hold on. Let's just look at the audacity of the shit that's going on with the
Audacity.
people creating these terms. How can that be the bonus hole? Then what's the primary hole? That alone should tell you who created the term.
yikes.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Yikes. Yeah, big pause. Um, so yeah, it's kind of crazy and whatnot, the things that are going on, but it all has to do with the attention economy. And it all has to do with the fact that Lyle Cohen got on the Breakfast Club and he was talking about how the industry shifted and whatnot. And they were talking to him about the music industry in older terms, like CD sales. He was like, nah, we don't do that no more. All we want is your eyeballs. He said, you don't need no money no more to be a participant in hip hop and to make the artist money. All we want is your eyeballs. So it's about retention, like Blue said. It's about, being able to capture people's attention and have them stuck to whatever it is that you're selling them, whether it's your OnlyFans or whether it's that. So we are in a day and age where people's private life is what goes viral. Everybody's into true crime, right? Niggas love court TV. When Freaky Cuz is going to court, everybody's invested in that. You feel me? Because everyone wants to see behind the curtain. They want to know what's going on the private side. People want to know, what are you doing when nobody is looking? That's big right now. And if people know how to monetize it, then they'll fare well in this new economy.
Red, you talked to me earlier on the phone when I talked to you, and we was talking about AI in Hollywood, and you were telling me that we're going into the era of dynasties, meaning we had the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, we had these Illuminati families that basically run all these industries, and there's going to be new families emerge that run these industries. The only problem is, Red, nobody's part of a fucking family anymore. It seems nobody's
Right.
with their mate. Nobody thinks it's possible to have a family. So how are we going to enter, or how are we going to succeed, or how are we going to be on top of the game in this dynasty era when the families come in triumph? The Johnson and Johnson, all these names in the last century that just took over. I want to see some black names, but the problem is we think this family shit just don't work. That's like the hardest shit in the world for black people right now.
Right.
Family, the hardest shit.
Well,
Niggas will go to Mars before they start their own family right now.
Right. Well, somewhere in America, or maybe somewhere in Africa right now, or maybe somewhere in the UK, somebody is swimming upstream. They got their wife on deck. They got other family members ready to go, brothers and sisters. Somebody is going to be able to pull it off. You feel me? To build out, because it's been projected that the next $1 billion company is going to have 3 employees. Well, think about it. Instagram was 13. When they sold it to Facebook or Meta, it was only 13 employees. Yeah, it's projected that the next $1 billion company is going to have 3 employees because of the automation of AI. Right? There was just an article Blue put up where a dude in India fired 90% of the workforce because he said, "Nah, I find a way to replace all of them. I got automation. I got Zapier, right?
Yeah.
I don't need them anymore." So the next family that's going to come up and probably create their own Hollywood studio, which will be a AI VR, because the new Hollywood is going to be on a Vision Pro. That's a big enough screen.
What the Apple shit?
The Apple headset. That's a big enough screen, right? Yeah. Threads give you 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? The new
it's the theater experience is dead, bro. Nobody is going to movies anymore. So
they want VR.
The new theater is the VR glasses. If you look at we put the video up the other day when we went into the studio that they brought us to, and the way that they have the screen, what's it called, a LED screen?
Volumetric.
The volumetric.
Volumetric.
Screen,
yeah, volumetric.
Like the shit that they make the Mandalorian and all of that on. Like
it's the new green screen.
Yeah, it's the new green screen. So, it's gonna be immersive. The more immersive, the better. You know what I'm saying? So as long as you can duplicate that experience and you can have it right in your own face, your own home, like you can't be no closer to this experience. I already seen a regular movie in VR, and it literally felt like I was standing in the living room with them. Shit was unreal. It was so surreal. It was unreal. This was some regular shit that I seen on the VR goggles, and this was on Oculus. So I can just imagine what I'm coming with. But what I'm saying is that, hold on, we have the wherewithal, we have access, we got everything that we need. So this is also a conversation about, we're putting up the flagpole for Godlywood. I found a post on my Facebook memory from 5 years ago yesterday, where we had shot our first footage with the Red Cam. Remember when we shot Twin the movie? Shout out to International P. And when he brought that movie team together, we had shot that video for the Twin project. And I had wrote in that caption that, the things was about to change in regards to how we create, content, the visuals. You know what I'm saying? I seen what you just, so I think it's tantamount to the same thing that you just utilized, Rich, when you was up in New York and you were shooting the elders on, that's the LED screens. You know what I'm saying?
That's the LED background, similar to the volumetric screen.
This is the future of video. This is the future of film. You know what I'm saying? We have the control of media in our own hands. So celebration. It's like
they're talking about 9D, Rich. Have you been to Dave and Buster's? Dave and Buster's, the lower level on Dave and Buster's is 9D. I put a VR headset on and I got into a machine that was moving like I was on a roller coaster. It had water sounds, smoke and everything, like and it was moving. So they're interactive right now. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, family. We're gonna make an announcement next week This is something that we
Mm,
putting together for the next Blueprint for God Power 2 workshop. We're gonna have a lot of
mm.
bonus content for y'all, and Sister Myra
You see.
is a part of it. We all met
Yeah.
up in New York. I had a top secret meeting, y'all, in New York.
Yes.
Sister Myra came through. A lot of the elders came through, but we're gonna make the announcement. It's in the middle of editing now, so I'll let y'all know what's going on next week. It'll be a big announcement, family. But yeah, this is what they're talking about. It was an immersive experience. I mean, it
Yeah.
was absolutely it's so mind blowing to be in the middle of something like that. So I get exactly what
So
yeah.
yeah. So that's what I'm telling you, Rich. That's what I'm telling you, Red. You know what I'm saying? Show full confidence in the fact that we know that we do have access to the new angle of the future, and it's everything that we've always wanted it to be, and it's only from our sincerity to want the stories that we know that need to be told for our people to be told. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Hollywood had the opportunity and they dropped the book. Where's the Dr. Savvy documentary? Like, these are the things
Woo!
enough to tell you that we got to take the gloves off figuratively and literally and handle our business and tell these stories and bring this information and this entertainment to the world. Because if we do have the ability to manifest, you know what I'm saying, in real time, it's like, yo, you owe it to yourself to put it on a big screen, you know what I'm saying, and
Pull that up real
really
quick, Rich.
the magic to do what it do.
Which one?
You was with the Kaaba because you was bringing up the whole thing about higher level, the conversations with keys and everything, and how you saw it cross over into mainstream.
Yeah.
So what I'm sharing with you, and when I want you, this is the red camera, y'all. You see the difference between that film and our pictures right here. We're on video, and that's film. It's a little bit different, and that's even film without all of the adjustments and everything on it.
Yeah, it ain't even color graded
It
yet.
ain't even color graded. So I'm just sharing with you that we've captured. I see it through higher level conversations and other documentaries online that the people will show up if it looks a certain type of way, and they're all for the information. Our people and it's other people of different nationalities. They all in. It just has to look to the level of it's in capturing them, their imagination, and if you could make it immersive where you could drop people into the worlds that the master teachers could build with words, it's over, bro. So yes, Blue, I'm here with you. I'm backing that up that we as the people have our hands on $1 trillion industry. If we want to step up and take the fantasy complex industry into our own hands, we can I show you something real quick, Rich? I wanted to demonstrate. I want to show y'all a demonstration of what the AI, why they're striking in Hollywood, and why, like Blue Pill said, it's over. There's no coming back. Right? I'm gonna share something real quick. This is the competition for Google. I mean, for Chat GPT, right? And they call it Claude, and it's free.
Mm.
And it's powerful, it's intelligent, and it's the future, y'all. So I would highly suggest that y'all tap into it. Go and pull up Anthropic is the website, anthropic.com, and then you could go on Claude 2. So what I did with it, what it has is a clip right here that allows you to upload files, right? So now you can upload files like PDFs, ebooks, and everything, and you could basically have it interface and interact with you and knock some shit out. So I uploaded a script, an idea of a script, and I said, give me a movie script, follow the hero journey formula, make the movie an action thriller with Afrofuturistic plot twists, break it down into 4 scenes. Both characters are nihilistic and expositional hero archetypes. So it said, here's a 4-scene movie script following the hero's journey formula with the Afro-futuristic thriller plot. Scene 1, in a dark rain-soaked alleyway in a futuristic African metropolis, we meet our protagonist, Ado, a nihilistic computer hacker with existential angst. He hacks into a quantum mainframe and discovers plans for a secret government project, Project Singularity, to merge man and machine. After being cornered by authority drones, Ado escapes into the Ados escapes into the sprawling slums and comes across a community of outcasts and mystics. An elder named Asha sees potential in Ado to become a heroic savior figure. She reveals that she's part of an underground resistance trying to stop Project Singularity from enslaving humanity. Though reluctant, Ado is inspired by Asha's vision and joins the resistance. So it goes through all of that. Then I told them, break it down into bullet points. Here's a bullet point breakdown of the key events in the stories, right? Then I tell them, give me a cliffhanger with the plot twist and the ending. So they give me the plot twist, right? And then I say, expand on it more. So they give me more. I'm working this bitch. You know what I'm talking about? I'm working them.
Work that bitch.
Then I said, turn the storyline into a Hollywood movie script. So as you can see, fade in. You know what I mean? I could feed this to a studio, and I could sell a script now. Then I said, I'm designing a video game based off of the story. Can you write the framework to build the AAA video game? They gave me everything that I needed to build the video game, Rich and Blue.
All right, son, that's enough, son. That's enough.
That's it. Yeah, I'm putting out too much, but I'm cooking. You know what I mean? I'm just letting y'all know that I'm using this shit as a co-pilot. Remember, I didn't say write out everything. I did the writing. I did the heavy lifting. I did the thinking, and then I let it flesh it out for me. Right?
Yeah.
In Hollywood,
we scenarios, bro, and then the shit does the heavy lifting. I said we come.
That's what they do in Hollywood too. But that's exactly what they did in Hollywood as well, y'all. So yeah,
this fucking crazy. You hear me? I got scripts that are crazy, just ready. Like
so, right,
man. Listen,
man, listen. So get up with me. Let's flesh those scripts out. And I'm proposing a hackathon for our community with a bag attached to it. I want to put some bands in your hands, and I definitely want to bring some of our brightest to the forefront with a hackathon. So we'll keep you updated to what we're gonna do, but it's time to get busy, man. You don't have, I don't have nothing to do. I'm not interfering with any of y'all's interaction with this AI. Red Pill is not in the way. I showed you Claude 2 is free to use. OpenAI is free. And ChatGPT is free to a degree, and so on. Some other one. Go get busy. Go to poe.com, POE.com. They give you access to 10 LLM models, 10 intelligent machines. Pick one and just get busy. But the world is yours, y'all, man.
Before I forget, I want to give your brother KT a shout out.
That good honey.
Yeah, get the honey family. Make sure y'all check the brother out. SoIonicBotanicals.com. Let's get to a couple of questions before we get out of here, family. Let me get a couple of questions for Red and Blue. I mean, a great show, very inspiring show. The time is now. Red and Blue said it, the creativity. It's time to really tap in now. These are the moments that make millionaires, billionaires. If you ever want to change your family life, the dynamic.
You got that. You got that video of the studio on your page.
Yeah,
I want to show that real quick. Yeah. While we
real quick, y'all.
Let's share this with them.
Just give y'all some insight.
See it, visible, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
They gave us the keys to Tyler Perry's old studio.
Yeah.
That's where y'all was at?
Yeah, the studio that the one before the big boy. This one is big enough though. He damn near abandoned it. And he left behind some fire.
Wow.
He left behind some fire, Rich.
Wow.
Well, once you level up to something new, we could use that.
Yeah.
Here's the studio.
One of them.
Right. So this is the lot. They got us on golf courts. This is the lot that they drove us through. So they got these big ass buildings. Studio One. These are all sound stages, right? These are all sets, big ass studio sets. This is inside where the volumetric screen is at. This whole screen in the back that you see, this big black thing, all of that shit is an LCD screen, Rich. It could all be lit up, and they use Unreal Engine. You could create any scene that you want. I'm talking about any scene. I could be on a planet, any planet I want to be on. I could be in the ocean with Titan, looking at the Titanic if I wanted to. Anywhere that I want to be, they could create that shit, bro. They could make it on the roof too. Yeah, we was tapped in. You know, we was tapped in. So that's what we moving to make our own productions, y'all. Our own productions. Like Rich said, we have the opportunity to become the new quote unquote legacy families by making film, by making video games, by making multi-million-dollar and billion-dollar gaining apparatuses. And the people could be a part of that. You know what I mean? Look at what Spike Lee did when people are selling, they're creating movies and then offering equity and shares in those movies. You feel me? Cutting out Hollywood, cutting out the middleman. They're distributing, I'm sorry, Blue. They're distributing their content through social media platforms like Tubi, Vimeo, YouTube, and whatnot, and they're monetizing it, and they're getting money. They're getting more money than Denzel and them is being paid.
Let me get to this question, a couple of questions, because I got to get out of here soon. The first one being, how do we negotiate the challenge of relying totally on AI and not doing the work internally to raise our consciousness?
Yeah, there's no such thing that AI could do for you that could replace what you have to do internally, right? AI is a co-pilot and it don't sleep in the bed with you, right? So you should have some private time to your life. You should have some spiritual time. You should have some time to ground. You should have some time to sunbathe and sun gaze. And then when you get in front of the AI, your intentions and everything is going to be more sincere, more pure, and more stronger. You're going to get your downloads when you're doing Tai Chi. You're going to get your downloads on what to prompt and how to prompt it and how to interface with it, because it's still intelligence. The intelligence that created AI comes from the human mind and whatnot.
Excellent.
So I say work, because but I get what brothers asking, because the opposite side of it is if you dive into the AI wormhole or rabbit hole and you don't work on yourself, you're gonna bring detriment to yourself. You understand?
Right.
So you need to balance it. It is a must that you balance it. So yes, don't get lost.
Indeed. Does Claude 2 work if you're trying to write a book, 2 or no?
Yes, Claude 2, the power of Claude 2 over Chat GPT 4 is that it's 100K tokens. So what 100K tokens is the words that either you prompt the computer with or the words that it spits back out. Those are considered tokens. So like, does Claude work if that would be 1 token? You're trying to write a book, that'd be token 2. So it gives you 100,000 tokens. So you could say, give me and it could spit out 100,000 tokens, which would be the equivalent to a pamphlet or a small ebook and whatnot. So yes, this is the book writing tool right here, more so than anything that Chat GPT was up until this point, because of the token count. The token count makes it important, and it's the top token count in the LLMs right now. It has the top token count.
Dope.
Okay. Are we seeing rituals in this 7 year being carried out by all the storylines from 96, which was another 7 year?
777 year.
Absolutely. This is the
This is
777 year.
777.
Tomorrow we'll hit another 777. And it's worth noting, I want to talk to you about the Travis Scott upcoming concert at some point. I don't know if we're going to get a chance to do it tonight, but I got a whole breakdown.
That's a whole show within itself.
Man, crazy.
Yeah.
That shit sold out in 15 minutes.
Huh?
The tickets to the pyramid sold out in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I definitely understand why. But yeah, I'm seeing a window from 2016 and 2017 in my personal life, a time loop. So the storylines from 96, you will have to give me more examples. The only thing that I can look at and reference is saying, the Tupac and Biggie situation, because that's on my timeline every day. That's
Right.
every single day. I'm learning. I'm there's 4 stories, there's 4 videos on YouTube about Big and Pop, and it's new information or more clarity. I can see the shit clearer and clearer with the more information that I get.
Crazy.
Um, but you would have to give me some more samples or examples about how we're looping from '96. I could give you about 10 about how we're looping from 2017 though. Um, so yeah,
All right. What they want to know what country has the most regulations on AI and why?
The UA, the UK, Europe, the EU. They were the ones that implemented. They kind of stopped Chat GPT in their tracks and forced them to develop an AI regulation, which they did. So the EU at this point would be the most regulated for the AI.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Let me see if there's any more. If they own your AI version of you, do they logically own you?
They own what is known as your digital twin. This started with DARPA, which is a military arm of the government, and DARPA had the technology to create a simulated world, and they were doing that through social media and whatnot. They were building out simulated worlds based off of social media influencers and people's activities, and then they were creating what are known as digital twins of everybody because, of course, they could create a digital twin of you based off of the agreements that you made with Meta and Google and whatnot when you gave them access to your likeness, and then they gave them access to your data. So your digital twin, when you on your iPhone and they do the face scan and all of that stuff. So now with your face scan, they can make a 3D model of you through like Unreal Engine and whatnot. They can make a
right.
meta-human version of you, right? Who
Yeah,
is almost a twin of you. So when
yeah,
that Vision Pro drops, when Apple drops the Vision Pro, they're gonna show you with their propriety, with their technology, they're making digital twins right there. You feel me?
right.
So
And there's a predictability model that goes along with that, at least from
right,
the military side of things, based on
right.
your social profile and your big data points, they're able to predict. So they're also going to be
Your
selling this,
behavior.
yeah,
Right.
to,
Like
to
Minority Report.
right. They're going to be selling this to the big corporations who want to sell you shit. They're going to have more of an idea about what your your taste are, your proclivities, you know what I'm saying? Your everyday things, your predictabilities.
Right.
So yeah, and hold on, you don't own you. You don't
You
own
don't
you.
even own you right now,
You
right?
don't
You
own
haven't
you.
you
So
haven't
let
you haven't
alone
changed your status.
the AI version of them, you don't own you. So yes, AI will own a digital version of you, but they're gonna be fighting over you with the people who already own you.
Mm.
That's what's
Right.
gonna take place. There's gonna be
It's gonna
wars
be a
taking place
crazy
for
battle.
you that
Right.
you don't even you got to fight the pit boss when they finish.
Right. So the conversation about once again status
Yeah,
is in the forefront because moving forward, there's going to be a layer of ownership that I'm sure is not going to be advantageous to
right.
people who are blind.
I think yeah. After this is gonna bust open people's understanding to the straw man first. They're gonna be onboarded to the late version of ownership. They're gonna catch on the straw man when they understand the digital twin, but they're gonna be so far removed from being able to find remedy in that realm because they haven't dealt with the straw man issue, which once again, they beat up on people when they brought it to them 20 plus years.
Rich, remember months ago, I believe we were doing a QA and people were asking me, why are the hip hop people selling their catalogs? Why are all the musicians dumping their catalogs? And I was like, AI. And it was like, Allen Iverson.
Right,
And I was like, look, they got some technology coming to whereas they about to clone not just the voices, but the likeness of them artists and whatnot. And I was pointing to the hologram with Tupac. Fast forward, you see the Drake concert where he opened up with his hologram. And the hologram was doing some crazy shit because he handed him a book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This nigga was rapping with a hologram, and the nigga was handing him a book. So they're stepping it up, and that's augmented reality that you see right there. There was a company called Magic Leap where they were able to have whales jumping out of a fucking a gym floor and whatnot, out of a wooden floor and whatnot.
Remember that?
So
And that
that's
was,
huh?
and that was old.
That's
That's
years
like
ago. That was mad far. Yeah, that's down there. And you didn't need no headset to see it. You didn't need an Oculus or nothing. It was augmented in your eyes, right in your face. So it's going down. They're owning people's music. So now the reason why I think that they were selling the catalogs is because look at the Drake, the Drake drones, the Drake clones that popped up with the song that was a hot Drake song. But the thing is, he didn't sing it. It wasn't. He didn't make the song. Him in the weekend and whatnot. So people said to themselves, I might as well cash out now because how do I know my the value of my catalog is gonna sink if they can make a Nelly clone and whatnot. You know what I mean? And they got Nelly singing Sexy Red or doing a remix with her, and it wasn't him.
Mm.
So now the value of his original works are going to be affected by that, right? It's almost like a catch-22 because they might be selling away the rights in the catalogs, and then some shit might pop off where they're gonna figure out a way to make billions of dollars off of the fact that to say, all right, we got Justin Bieber's agreed upon voice.
yeah,
So
you know
now
how
we're gonna come out with an app on your phone
right.
to where it
Where you
will
could
wrap your whole face like Justin Bieber, and you could sound like him now.
or you could collaborate with him.
Or you could collabo with
Right.
him.
What are
Now,
you
right,
willing? What are you willing to pay to have Michael
right.
Jackson sing your hook? That's
Sing your
just
hook, right. That's what it's gonna boil
that's
down
yeah.
to.
That's what's gonna boil down to. We just got to talk about that. They're gonna be like
Right.
negotiation, nigga.
They're gonna
What
be like, damn, how did Red Pill get on the streaming platform with a Michael Jackson hook? He paid for it.
Mm.
They let it go through because on the royalties it's paid for. He paid for that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And nobody's gonna be able to argue that because they're gonna be like, yo, that sounds just like MJ, fam.
Mm.
Because it's all about the training. So if they sell the rights to Michael Jackson's catalog and they say, yo, we trained a model on pure Michael Jackson unreleased music and all of his music, all of his interviews, private phone calls, all of these things that the machine knows everything about MJ more than the average super fan does. And they're gonna be like, if you just prompt that shit to write a song, it's gonna do it in his essence. That shit gonna fly.
Man, listen, man. Hey, whew, what a way to end the show. Wow. I mean, we're going into a very interesting era, family. And yeah, we gotta be ready for this. We gotta stay prepared, family. Leave your contact information. I know you got American God 6 coming up. Let the people know what you got coming up, Red.
Yeah, family. So to round out this very powerful year of 2023, a very metaphysical year indeed. I'm getting back into my metaphysical bags and I'm going to present the sixth in the whole series of American Gods, the sixth iteration. And it is entitled American Gods 6, The Age of Nihilism. And in this series, I'm going to break down how the nihilistic motifs of Western society and Western culture has permeated into not only hip hop, but it has permeated into every single walks of life. I'm going to break down a lot of Western thought from the aspect of Nietzsche, Camus, and all of these Western thinkers and whatnot, who are the social engineers who kind of like terraform society to fall in love with the bad guy or to fall in love with nihilism, which is meaninglessness, right? Which is drill music, which is, gangster rap, which is basically people taking penitentiary chances and, living life suicidal and whatnot. The dreams of what Crowley put out. You know what I'm talking about? The dreams of what Crowley, the eggs that hatch from Crowleyism, where he said that he is going to take over the minds of the youth and put them on cocaine and put them on drugs and put them into alcoholism and things of that nature. So we're going to take a real deep dive on
and
American God Part 6.
create a third gender of which would be androgynous beings.
Right,
That
right,
was his
right.
goal.
Right. We're gonna unpack the Travis Scott thing. We're gonna unpack the Kang the Conqueror. We're gonna talk about Jonathan Majors. You know, we're gonna unpack how Killmonger was right, Thanos was right, and Ultron was right.
Mm.
They was all right. They're all nihilistic heroes and whatnot, but they were all right.
Mm.
They were all right. Shout out to Homelander right here. He's a character. Yeah, I gotta check him out.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna talk to Blue. I don't know if Blue might be willing to get down and deliver one with me. Because the last one we did, American Gods 5, it was me, Akibalon, and Blue Pill, and that was in 2021 or 2. That was a classic. You
Yeah.
know, that was a classic. So
Yeah, sign me up. Um, Family, I got retreats coming, right? I'm going to Shasta and Sedona. So
big
people
healing.
was asking for it. You feel me? Yeah, we're gonna get the big healing. We're gonna get to big earth grid shifting. You know what I'm saying? Vortex jumping. We're gonna do it all. Plant medicine. We doing the most, right? So ShastaMedicine.com is the Mount Shasta retreat that's taking place Labor Day weekend of 2023. And at the end of September, September 22nd, I believe, I'm going to be going to Sedona with a team that has been doing trips up there and retreats. They do Reiki certification. So not only are we bringing you to a vortex point, an energy center of this planet, but you also can get your Reiki certification and go interface with a real vortex in real time. So that's at rasekihealing.com, RASEKHI healing.com, Raseki Healing. Could somebody write that in the chat for me? I don't got access to the chat this moment, but RASEKHI healing.com,
Pull up RASE.
RASEKHI, and then the word healing.com. So rasekihealing.com, that's for the Sedona retreat, and ShastaMedicine.com is for the Mount Shasta retreat. And yeah, we would love to have you pull up, family. This is gonna be amazing. Once again, experiential, you know what I'm saying? It's an immersive experience to get into these vortex points, these energy centers, and experience, healing on a higher level. This is high level healing. And
Yes.
yeah, the invite is open. Let's make it happen. Y'all said that y'all wanted this, so here it is. And we still got
Salute.
to get y'all up to Mount Shasta, and I definitely got to get y'all to Sedona at some point. You know what I mean? When we get these Gollywood studios up, we'll get the family RVs and
You know what I mean?
out there with the
Because
black mat.
that's Mars.
Yeah, and we could shoot some Mars scenery. Cause yeah,
Yeah.
that's Mars terrain. You pull that one off, you like,
The
okay,
Martian terrain in Sedona.
it's that Martian terrain.
Indeed, indeed. Hey, man, I want to thank both of y'all for coming on the show once again. Another classic show in the books. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight.
Yes.
Saturday Night Live, Brother Rich, Red Pill, Blue Pill. Signing out, family. Peace, family.
Peace.